I've got some blue type on that side.
Yeah.
So that one there, yeah? Go in that corner. Cool.
I kind of regret having a light breakfast.
Because I'm Spanish now. I'm sure there is some art to rock placement. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Just got a message from my sister saying that she sees me. Okay, so my shuttle is your shuttle.
It's my shuttle as well. And little Palpatine.
Okay, so my everything else.
Or everything else. Hello.
Hey, Steph.
I'm on TV.
Mention.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Right. Darren?
All good, buddy.
So I think we're just setting
We're
dials.
just setting dials anyway. I'll shake hands again.
Yeah.
You can never shake too many hands. That's what I love about the game, actually. Just the community is fantastic. You very rarely meet someone who's just a bit of a...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get tense games, but
Yeah,
I didn't care enough, to be honest.
yeah.
My aim was top half. See, joke's on you. I'm just going to fly all my ships off the board. Done.
Exactly. And go for beers after this.
Quickest stream ever. So just set all my ships up facing this way, on the edge. Done.
Done, exactly.
That's to you and your stream.
Exactly.
There should be an extra prize for the fastest game.
Screw you, internet nerds. Or I show my ship card to the camera and the dial that I'm putting down for it, just to ruin the fun. So if you watch it online, fine.
So I'm just messaging some people.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry?
Yeah, well, we're waiting to...
I think the time started. Oh, it has started.
Oh man, sorry.
He's going to stop. Yeah. Yep, one bump. Hard one. And we'll evade. Worth. The Inquisitor will hard one. In fact, I'll do this guy first. Because hard running and rather than keep out. Yep. He will evade. And the Inquisitor will barrel roll. Two. Yep.
Right, welcome to round 9 of the Yavin System Open 2016. Give me a second, mate. I think that's the right list information. Everything looks like it's up correct. Okay, so say hello.
Hello.
This is Oliver Pocknell. Where will people know you from?
Well, I'm a member of the 186th Squadron, which I'll probably get a load of booze for that, but no, it's as well as that, I won the Nordic Championships last year. Jesper stole the UK one for the Nordics, so I went over and stole their prize back. And I've been posting a couple of things on the UK group every now and then. Basically, I'm the guy in the annoying purple hat at tournaments.
They did mention you yesterday when you're in the background of the camera. Do you know Benjamin?
I do indeed. I've played against him quite a few times, and he is very, very good with these aces.
So, but without a doubt, we're going to have to be as impartial as possible.
Absolutely.
In this matchup. One of the things I did want to ask you is I've noticed he's put a big black box right next to the playmat. What's that? Is he going to be chucking his dice in there?
He is going to be. If it scrolls down a little bit, it's got our Squadron logo on it. There's a wonderful guy. He's posted a couple of times on the UK group, I think, and he makes these dice boxes. Warboard Games got some for them.
Well, then let me just go tell him to make sure he puts it on camera.
Absolutely, we'll just get it shifted on.
When he moves it, just put it on camera.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, I'm sorry to interrupt. I wouldn't normally do it. You're going to be chucking your dice in there. When you do so, just move it on. Okay? And that way, you guys get a little bit promotional about it as well. You get to see that logo.
Absolutely. Well, it's yeah. Some of us like them, some of us don't. Personally, I think it gets in the way, but it's also a really good way of just keeping the dice tidy.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why a lot of people are experimenting with dice cams right now. If you've been listening to me all weekend, you know I've got a dice cam, but it's not working with the software at the moment because I had just before regional, I spent 2 months getting everything ready. And as soon as the first regional kicked off, everything went to pot, and I had to scrap it and go back to the old setup. So, and there's not been time since then. It's just only been about 1 week between each event.
It's always nice to see the dice cams, but sometimes you just got to do with what you've got.
Yeah, exactly. So my one's. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, we've got time. They're turtling in a corner.
No, more than anything to try and protect the idea more than anything. What I've actually worked on is instead of just having a dice box like, for example, what Ben's got.
Yeah.
I've actually fabricated by hand out of clear plastic.
Yeah.
A trench that runs basically the whole length of the table, of the playmat. And in the middle there's a wall to separate both sides out.
Clever idea.
Because what I didn't want was when you watch a lot of these games with the dice cam is that they the dice box ends up being closer to one player than the other, and someone always has to reach over or peer over to see exactly what results
if it's right in the middle, then everyone's stretching and it's not good for everyone.
So you basically got, depending on either side of the table, you've basically got easy access to this little area which has a one wall higher, the one that's furthest away from the players, just in case they do throw the dice like that, it doesn't bounce out the other side. And the wall closer to the players is a lot lower, so they can reach in easily.
Yeah.
And then above that, I have the camera mounted looking straight down, and then in the new software, I'm able to crop that down. And then what you basically end up with is that.
Yeah, that's
on the
useful
screen.
because that means that it just makes a better quality stream. It means that everyone at home can actually see what's going on.
There's a lot of reasons. I mean, I had ideas about, as I said, I've been doing this for a year now, and I've had lots of ideas. That the main limitation is money and time.
Yes.
And the effort it takes to put these things together. I actually was thinking about dice cams before Fantasy Flight did it in the World Tournament last year.
I had it first.
And basically, I don't like those square ones that take up so much of the image.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to go for just a little strip that shows up on the lower part of the screen.
That would work. That would work. And yeah, that means it doesn't get in the way of the stream and everything else.
Yeah, I think it's quite obvious from, as you've seen from the stream, the damage decks, the coloured bases, the stuff I do to try and make sure the game is as easy to follow the visual language of the game as possible.
It is. I was wondering for a second how you worked out what crits there were immediately, and I've
now
noticed
you can see, can't you?
Yeah, you
now
have the little codes on each of the cards.
On a
and
cheat sheet.
For those of you that haven't been watching the stream very much, you'll notice when the cards start to come out, the damage deck, we're using one damage deck for the top table, with one for each person.
I've got my own damage deck.
The own damage decks, and they have little codes on the cards so that we can see on the stream which damage card it is.
High visibility cards. Oh no, I'm gonna reveal one of the little secrets I keep to myself on this. The codes you're actually looking at there.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what that might be based on?
I'm thinking semaphore or Morse code.
Braille.
Yes.
High visibility.
There we go. 1, 2, yeah. For those of you that obviously can't see it, there will be effectively 6 boxes that can be either blacked out or kept white.
Yeah, just 6 little squares at sharp. Little icon made to make it as visible as possible because the card text wasn't red. When I first did the first stream in the regional event in Valencia last year, that was the first thing that came obvious in the final game of the regional. I can't tell what damage card was. And one of the other things I try and make sure I'm doing at all times is not getting involved with the players in any way. I try and stay as far away from the table as possible, so that there's no there's no way they're sort of thinking about what's going on with me walking around checking the cards.
Absolutely.
And what I end up having to do in the finals, having to ask people to go up and just kind of walk past the table, see if they can get a look at what card it was.
Absolutely.
And I don't like doing that either. So that's when I came up with the idea, and by the time I came around to nationals, is where I had the damage decks ready.
Yeah.
If you manage to see Spanish nationals from last year, you'll know there was no time or space to be able to ask players to start playing with special cards until we got through to day 2 with top 16. And that was when things really started to take off for me there.
Absolutely. Well, it's an interesting one because when I was playing against Mike Dennis in the Nordic finals, he had a really good idea. He started showing his damage cards to the camera whenever he got them.
That's the worst idea.
Well, it means that the camera can see.
A lot of the time it can't, because they're usually if they've got sleeves on them.
Yes.
When you hold it up, the light reflects off of it,
and
normally you can't see anything.
See, it's interesting to see it from a streamer's point of view because I'm only seeing it from the player's point of view.
Yeah, you'll hear me every time when I speak to the players at the beginning of the game. I always say, once you've started, you have to forget that camera's there. You don't need to show me anything. I can read it. I can see everything that's going on the table at any time. That's the way I've got the camera set up. That's the reason why I've got this specific angle. That's why I don't go to a top-down camera. A lot of reasons why I don't go to a top-down camera. The main reason being the playmat's square.
Yes.
So if you put a perfectly top-down camera, you end up having everything's the same distance as well.
It's hard to judge.
So it's hard to say whether or not a hit is a hit or a crit or a focus result. And then you've also got the fact that the square takes up a portion of the middle of the screen, and then you've got a load of part of the screen to the sides that's not occupied by game space. And a lot of the time, you just end up seeing crotch shots on the side of the table. And that's why you see a lot of people do a top-down camera, put overlays over to try and cover that up. Or bald spots is another thing you see a lot of. So I go for the diagonal camera mount just to make sure that I've got one part of the table mat. The closest part to the table mat is always well definition. We've complained several times this weekend that there's very low light in the ballroom, which is why we're getting a lot of noise on the camera, and it makes it quite difficult. The image quality coming through on the stream is a lot lower than what we're actually watching.
It does, but regardless of this, I think Ben's in an interesting situation here because sorry, who is Ben playing? I don't know his name.
Darren Grainger.
Darren. So I really like how Darren set up his ships because I feel like Ben's going to have a headache here because of Wampa. Wampa combined with Palpatine, that means that the Inquisitor will die in 2 turns if he gets pinged. So Ben's going to have to be really, really careful with rolling him in here, and especially with a Mega Leader as well on the boards. It's going to be a tough game because Ben has the damage, but then there's that automatic damage that goes through. There's Duke and everything else.
And
so
that, with the Palpatine to be able to modify that dice.
absolutely.
They're still. Are they doing planning phase? Or have they actually started moving?
Ben's
They're
just
still
finished his
planning
barrel
phase.
roll, so yeah, it's just started the planning phase.
Right.
The barrel roll Vader backwards.
So Ben's got a little minifig, a little Lego minifig of the Emperor
does.
Palpatine in the corner of his base there.
Yep.
That's shooting out lightning bolts. Wicked.
It's really cool. It looks, yeah, look, he's got the see-through lightning. I don't know where he's got it from, but it's been riding shotgun on his shuttle for the past couple of months.
Excellent. And the dial upgrade kit, especially painted as well.
Absolutely. I think
So Ben obviously takes a lot of care in the hobby side.
he
of the
does.
game.
He really likes his models as well, and I've seen a load of people over the weekend that have painted their dials to match their ships. I played a guy today using a Phantom, and he'd done the decloak effect both on the Phantom and the dial.
Wicked.
And there's a guy who's running 5 A-Wings. He's painted them up as shields. You may have seen him on the UK group. He put them up there, and he's actually done his dial covers to match.
Yeah.
So he's done the same quarters of the dials to match the shield insignias on the A-Wings.
Wow, wicked.
So yeah, you can have a bit of fun when you start playing ships. And I think because a lot of us have come over from Infinity, 40k, and we're used to painting models.
Yeah.
Suddenly, when you don't have to, you kind of want to.
Yeah.
Shuttle. Yeah. Take it 2 back. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, slowly creeping forwards.
And setting himself up in the firing squad.
Absolutely, I think Ben's going to have to do some hard work here. If it was me playing
Especially
against,
with all those asteroids and the
Absolutely.
large ones as well in the middle of the field.
yeah, I think it was a good decision from both of the players to bring some big rocks. If it was me playing against Darren, what I would be wanting to do is I'd be wanting to really split, wait for Darren to come through the asteroids at me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be going in. There we go. Wampa
Look at
comes
that.
straight forwards, and
Barrel roll,
the
no?
Inquisitor may be in trouble. Honestly, I think he can leave him straight there.
Yeah?
Just takes his evade. He doesn't need to modify his dice. He just needs to stay alive
Yeah.
and use as big a firing arc as possible to trap the Inquisitor.
I was saying that if he'd a barrel roll, no, he would have blocked the Omega Leader. If he'd a barrel roll to the left, he would have been out of arc of the
Omega Leader there. He would have blocked him.
yeah.
But now, yeah, that's close. I think this should be fine.
Wicked. Look at that.
There's some, there's some good distance measuring there.
So obviously you get into the point where after 8 rounds of Swiss,
Absolutely.
to be in the top 10, he's obviously got to be very accomplished with his list as far as Darren's concerned, with being
Yeah.
able to judge those kind of distances.
Yeah, and it's if you play something a lot, then you very much get used to the list itself, and you, especially because my personal preference is A-Wings, and the 5 straight I have in my head. I know exactly how far that move is going to go, and the 2 turn as well.
You told us on the regional that you should have brought your A-Wings, but you went for Jake Hand.
I should have brought the entire A-Wing squad. Yeah, as I mentioned there, playing for fun is the best way of doing it in my mind. And I'm not going to do well with a list that I don't enjoy playing because the motivation to win isn't there. I think that's the thing. If you start getting in, I've heard especially Lee Williams has done a post on it on his page. He's talked about getting in an X-Wing funk about I don't know what to play. I wasn't happy with Wave 7. And he was saying that right now Wave 8's happened. I'm having a load of fun with the Ghost, and because I'm having fun, he's doing better.
Yeah.
Right, now the Inquisitor is in trouble right there. So he's been target locked by Omega Leader, which, as most of you guys in stream will know, means that he can't modify his dice. Omega has his Duke evade, so if he rolls any hits, it's going to be hard for the Inquisitor to block. And then Wampa's sitting right in the way there, ready to put a hit onto his hull.
This is going to be an interesting first round of firing.
Absolutely. I think, quite honestly, Ben's best bet is to remove Wampa as quickly as possible, which with Palpatine on the board and the evade token is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be able to see if he gets really, really brave and tries the 5 forward from Vader, but that will come up later.
So as far as in the top, in the running for the top, how many of your guys are making it through now with the 186?
There was a lot making it through to the second day. A lot of us went 4-2 on the first day, and you have Andrew Patterson, our resident Swarm Lord. He was on our podcast that we did the other day, and yeah, he is now on 7 wins and 1 loss. So he's going to his final round. If he can do that, then he's almost certainly getting into the top cut. Who else? I think Ben has a chance.
Whoever wins this game is more likely to go in, especially
Pretty much.
with the fact that everybody that was above them on the table have not taken an intentional draw. There's going to be some changes to points.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's going to be tough, especially with something this big. Oh, sorry, my teammates are calling me out about mentioning Jake Farrell on the stream. If any of you do know me, I'm not allowed to talk about Jake Farrell. I've never flown any other ship basically since I started playing the game, and I get a lot of abuse for it. It's okay, I can take it. I only cry at home.
It's a bromance. Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. There's the dice box. So Vader's going in, trying to murder the Inquisitor there.
1 hit, 1 crit.
There we go. Targeted computer doing its work.
Oh, this is no use.
Yeah,
1 evade,
not
I
going
saw.
to make that much difference. He's got his evade token there as well.
No, you have initiative.
This is why what I'm doing has got a transparent wall on it.
Yes, it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think the reflection as well, as you mentioned in here, it's hard with the grain on the camera and the lighting.
That's a hit and a crit.
Just take it out. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the other problem, is you have to take them out after. There's too much fiddling around. That's why my one's a bit different.
Absolutely.
And 3 evades.
Very nice.
Those are regional dice from 2015, correct?
They're the pearly ones, yes. So the clear ones were 2014, the pearly ones were 2015, I do believe.
Yeah.
And these are the clear ones this year. I'm still gunning for another set of those. I've got my 3 from Milton Keynes.
They're useless on the camera, by the way.
Yeah, they are. They're useless on the table sometimes. If there's any reflection, you can't see them. They're fine in sunlight, but artificial light, not so much.
Focus. Taking a shield.
Okay.
Tell me something. Do you do this dice thing with your shields?
What do you mean?
The way that Ben's
dice
got
with
his
shields.
dice set up.
No, that's a habit. I've seen loads of different people using them today.
That's something that's come over from 40k, isn't it?
I think so.
Where
I've
they're
seen
counting their
people
wounds
use
and
it with
stuff like
stress
that.
tokens. Say, for example, you're flying Psycho Tycho with all of his shenanigans.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, the problem here with it, because you've obviously got to place it on the playmat. So if they end up being 50, then they're all kind of stuck up there, occupying space on the playmat. There's 1 evade, 1 focus for the result, and probably a blank, if I'm seeing it right.
It looks like a blank. Which will
Spend
auto
evade.
thrusters or spend
And
evade. Yeah,
Palpatine.
there we go. Sorry,
So 1 per.
Palpatine. That one. That's a good way of doing it. So he's using his Palpatine minifig as the Palpatine token. That works.
1 hit and 1 focus.
Okay.
Do 1 face down.
There we go.
Wow.
No, he rolled a crit there.
Oh.
He didn't even have to Palpatine it. Natural crit, which means the Inquisitor is just going to take a damage on his hull.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's in trouble. If he gets caught one more time by Wampa, he's dead. If he takes 2 more damage, he's dead.
And Wampa, basically, with pulling out a K-turn on the next turn, is basically in a place where...
That's true, but if he does pull a K-turn, he lands himself right in front of that shuttle.
But then that's what we're saying, is that if he's going to be shooting on the Inquisitor first...
He is. Honestly, it's probably the best move to go.
The K-turn, even if the shuttle does blow you up straight afterwards, you've taken the Inquisitor down with you.
Absolutely, and, well...
It's a hard decision, yeah. But
It
the problem is
what
that
Ben
Darth
does.
Vader's obviously committed himself to the Inquisitor and the Lambda on the other side of the field. The asteroids are going to pretty much block him up. Or maybe Darth Vader could pull through a 2 left turn and mess up that K-turn for Wampa.
He could
but I don't think he wants to be leaving his flank open to those the Inquisitor and the Lambda.
Well, he will be able to see what the Inquisitor does, so he could dodge out of the way. The thing that I'm worried about here is that if I was playing for Ben, if he goes short, he's probably going to get shot by lots of things.
Yeah.
And if he goes 4 straight, then I think if I was playing as Darren ships, 5k as you said from the TIE Fighter, sorry 4k.
4K. Yeah.
Flips over, and then the Omega leader can do a hard 1 and a barrel roll, and will block the 4 straight escape route from the Inquisitor there.
Of course.
So, and this is what I assume that Ben is presently. He's debating what to do with Vader here.
Put those down there just to help me out every now and then. Oh, they've not got the FO there.
There we go. Oh, it's Omega Leader is really shining at the moment.
I'll ask you one question. So why 186th? Where'd the 6th come from?
The 6th. Well, the original premise was that there's the 181st TIE Fighter Squadron from Cynthia Fell, as most of you guys on the stream will know. And the Dark Sphere store that we started playing at in London, the 186th grew from a league that John Berger-Webb started. He is our daddy, if you like.
Okay.
And the address...
Wow. Oh, what?
Is, no, that's Mark Patterson on the store. But if you see him, he's got very, very curly hair on top, a bit like Mark's.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the Boba Fett that just walked past the camera.
Oh, whoops! I missed that completely.
Look behind Darren right now.
Absolutely. There we
see
go.
If I can get someone.
No, there's a Mandalorian helmet, and we can see if we can get the Mandalorian on the stream.
Simon, tell him to put his helmet on.
There we go. Put his helmet on. Stand behind the stream.
The Boba Fett.
He's
guy.
hiding behind Darren at the moment. We'll see if we can get him on the stream. But yeah, the reason it's 186 is because our address is 186 Hercules Road for Dark Sphere.
Oh, right.
And that's where we started. So
that was
we put our match t-shirts. There we go. He's helmeted himself up. Hello, Mandalorian. he's doing the intimidation technique.
It's a shame we're not watching some jump masters with a Boba Fett.
Well, he's. I have to admit, I've been always very impressed by these guys. They take time out of their day to basically come over and cheer everyone else up.
Yeah, it's wicked. So that's the address of the store then, 186.
Yes, 186 Hercules Road. That's the Dark Sphere store address, and we thought, well, it's close to 181st. Let's do it.
That's what I was getting at. Is the 181st is the obvious one? So what was the reason for changing the
Yeah, absolutely.
So how big is the Dark Sphere? As I understand, it's quite large.
The Dark Sphere is a fairly big store. It's got a lot of space for stock and everything else. So you can fit. I mean, we fit a almost 60-person store championship in this year.
And just a short manoeuvre.
Yeah. He decided to play it safe, I think. Didn't know whether the Inquisitor was going to turn out or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe the K-10 would have been blocked by the shuttle as well.
Quite possibly. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. It was probably. There we go.
Yeah.
It's probably thinking about that.
No, don't fit, mate.
No, clonk. Oh, that's some good play there.
Excellent.
That's a good play there. Sensible move from Ben, and that's the thing, because if you're used to playing the Imperial Aces, Darren's probably thinking, well, I have a Pilot Score 2 shuttle. I would probably move to block the K-10.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why he didn't K-10 with Wampa.
But then if that was the case, he made the mistake.
Well,
Omega Leader.
It's always close. That must have been less than a quarter of a base length. So that's when it's hard to judge distances. When you're not just doing your moves, when you're having to contemplate someone else's as well.
Yeah.
And that's why
he's done well. He's done well. I mean,
yeah. And that's
disengaging here.
That's
probably
not
on
good
top
at all.
of an asteroid.
Oh no, that's a boost. That's fine.
No, all right.
Sorry, I apologise. I was going to say, wouldn't have thought that he'd place himself straight into an asteroid.
If he was looking to get towards the Lambda, he could barrel roll forward to the right.
Yeah, I feel like he wants to leave his Inquisitor there so that
barrel roll to the right.
No, he is going to escape.
To the left side.
So you don't know where Vader's going to go.
We had an interesting situation in I'm friends with the champion from Jakku.
Yes.
And one of the things he was telling us after that was he played against no, I won't mention anything like that. He played against a certain person.
Yes.
And in one of the rounds, and he said he was going to do a barrel roll.
Yes.
Okay. And it didn't fit to one direction.
Okay.
So he said, okay, well, then I'll do something else then. And his opponent said, no, you said you were going to do a barrel roll.
No,
you didn't say which direction. So as far as the opponent was concerned, he was committed to doing that barrel roll. One way or another.
See, it says specifically in the rules that if you attempt a barrel roll and it does not fit on one side, you may cancel that barrel roll and do whatever action.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously how it's played.
Yeah,
but
and I appreciate how he'd said
Yeah.
I'm going to do a barrel roll, so it seems like he's locked it in.
Yeah,
It's one of those things where a player will say something casually, and
Yeah.
it
and
gets
bear in
tough in
mind,
competition.
at the Jakku Open,
Yes,
there were French, Spanish, Germans,
Lots of
so
languages. Same
a
as
lot of
here.
language problems.
Same as here.
Well, same as here, but it's a lot less here. I think, as from what I understand. I can't remember how many there were in Jakku.
there was a few Spanish people. There
There were
some French.
5 Spanish players.
Yeah, I
And,
think we had some French people over as well. But yeah, there's. I'm surprised because I know that Siggy from the Outer Rim Smugglers is over, and we have Mishari as well from
Mishari, yes, we had him on the stream
he's
yesterday.
come over from Kuwait, so he's come a long way.
I mean, obviously, when you've got an event that's so large, and it's also being part of an expo,
Absolutely.
and in Europe being so easily communicated with the rest of Europe,
Yes.
UK, then it makes it a lot easier for people to travel to these type of events, and obviously the prestige carried by this event being the largest X-Wing event in the world is obviously something that gave it a lot of cash with the international community to be able to travel over here. I mean, like I said last year when I found out the Nationals was being held in the NEC, I said, well, next year I'll go. And my sister lived just around the corner.
Yeah,
And so I was already committed to coming. That was before I even started streaming.
absolutely.
And then after starting streaming and doing national events in Spain, team championships, stuff like that, when it came to the opportunity to... I was waiting for them to announce the Nationals. And when I proposed the idea of doing a stream, I always try to be as humble as possible and make sure that I'm saying that I'm requesting their permission to do it.
Yes.
So it's something I can do if you guys are happy for me to do it. I was waiting for them to announce the Nationals here at the Expo, and then they suddenly said it was going to be open. I was all over that.
Absolutely,
When they got
you
mention.
jumped straight on that.
But like I say, for behind the scenes, it actually took me quite a long time to be able to find out if it was going to be possible. It actually took me up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago before I actually got told by the show director that that it would be a possibility, and everything sort of took off from there.
From my personal perspective, and I think there's a lot of other people here and on the stream, because I mean, hey, you're watching it, right?
We've got 150 spectators right now.
It's fantastic to see, and I love the fact that you can look at all of these games online and go from there. It looks like Ben
I've
is
actually-
got himself out of trouble here.
I've actually got round 1 and 2 ready to go on YouTube from yesterday.
Oh, fantastic! It's always good to see, because I know that when I'm bored or anything else, it's nice to watch some really good games on YouTube.
Yeah.
Take 3.
Free shields down on the Lambda.
There we go. He's slowly plinking away.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty good turn for Ben here, because he can, especially if he saves his Palpatine for his offensive shot on Wampa.
Oh, jeepers. Sorry.
2 hits and an unknown crit. Evade,
That's,
Palpatine for 2, and 1
Inquisitor.
shield
There we
left.
go.
Then it's Mumpa range 1.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nice. 2 can roll up with dice.
And there's
I will take 3. Okay.
taking 3 hits on the Lambda for
I'm
Ben.
going to range 1 back at Wampa.
There we go. So he's still got 1 shield left there, it looks like, on the shuttle.
And attacking Wampa.
You used pop as well, didn't you? Yes.
Right.
I
This
have
is
not,
big.
So I'll put my pop back. Yep.
He has Palpatine ready.
Since there's no point in doing that, I'm going to pop that into a
And
crit.
he may as
Give double
well
crits
turn
on
one of those into a crit.
2 hits, 1 crit from Palpatine. And looks like there's 2 hits, 2 crits.
2 hits, 2 crits.
2
Oh,
blanks.
Excellent.
That's,
so I'll use the evade token.
is that 3 blanks?
And it takes an evade token.
So that's a hit and 2 crits. Yep.
1 hit, 2 crits on Wampa.
Blat.
Unlucky.
And that...
Major explosion
Makes
was
life a
the
lot more
crit that
interesting.
came up.
Well, that one's out of the mix now.
Locks is still saying that it's fine. Yep.
go. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm curious to see what happens from both players' perspective here, because whilst Ben is now ahead, his Inquisitor is still quite damaged. And Vader isn't in the best position in the world there.
I would say the loss of Wampa on that last round definitely messed things up.
It did indeed, but if the shuttle comes forwards like that, it was a gamble. It was a big gamble, and it hurts to get blanks like that in a situation, because you'd think that, okay, the shuttle, even if it does get 4 hits, you'd hope that a TIE fighter would be able to spend an evade and get at least 1 evade on the dice. So you're then hoping that crits don't come out.
Yeah. Darren's actually stepped back from the table.
He's still there. He's still there. He's just getting some perspective.
Part 2.
Just saw Frank Brooks running around the camera there.
Mark the front as well.
Just sharing. The Spanish group asked me to share some of their repaints with
Oh, lovely.
George Villapin.
Lovely.
After seeing some of his stuff, to see what they thought.
Oh, he is
The comment was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
Copycat move.
oh, credit where credit's due as well.
we have a. We'll wait till next planning phase to have a quick look at it.
But I've seen some beautiful examples of his painting today. I've been playing against him and his kid as well. And his was the one that I was talking about with the repainted Phantom dial.
Yeah.
And it is pretty.
Yeah.
Right then, so we're having a shuttle face-off. 2 turned around the corner. And yeah, as expected, Inquisitor comes around.
Right.
And I reckon it'll be a mirror on the other side as well.
So did Omega Leader move already and bumped again?
Omega Leader has not moved, no. He'll be able to choose the order, I do believe, in which he activates. So I don't think he's moved.
I'm not seeing a dial.
Yeah, that's true. He may not have,
Unless it's right behind that Lambda.
unless he flipped both. No, he may have just bumped Omega, which surprises me.
No, he can't have bumped over because the Lambda would have moved first.
Yeah, the Lambda moved first, did a hard 2, so he must just be waiting to
So
activate
he
him.
must have
There
done
it is. It was
one
hiding
straight.
behind the
There
shuttle. And it is the sloop. No, it's 2 turn. There we go.
That, and he will just focus.
Okay.
And so he's target locked Palpatine there. So, well, at least you can't Palpatine against Omega Leader, but he's nowhere to be seen. So Ben's being very careful here.
Would you mind boosting on the right, please?
That means Darren's going to have some painful shots onto Ben's Palpatine shuttle this turn.
Yeah.
And he's actually just
So it's like a range 1 trade broadside from the Space Cows.
Well, Darth Vader and at the moment the Inquisitor's not firing this round. So basically just Ben's Lambda.
Yep, and I can't see. No, there we go. It's hard to the left. There was no way.
he's going to be able to get anything back in arc.
No way Vader was getting back around, unless Ben really fancied K-turning him through an asteroid, which is not the wisest
maybe not.
of decisions.
It's not such a bad idea. I mean, he's full health. He's going to lose his action anyway if he does a K-turn. Can you hear me okay when I'm talking?
I can, absolutely.
Right. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out so well.
You have a lock invader. No, shuttle is lock invader. Yeah. Right. And he's soft as lock. Okay. So.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, guys. I had the camera looking at the other end.
There we go. Now we can see the board again. You had our dulcet tones to inform me of what's going on.
I
the
mean, you
board.
can still see it on
You
the
can,
bottom
you
half of the
can.
image. It's just not as much detail. You can still
I'm
see
sure
what's
that
going on.
everyone wants to see the good pictures. So absolutely, change the camera, guys. Yes, we did.
Yeah. 154 spectators for round 9.
Not
and
bad
of
at all.
course, normally everyone asks to see the top tables. We've obviously made several decisions during the tournament about what sort of games we want to play, rather than just sticking to the top tables and watching the same lists most of the time.
I think it's a really nice decision.
Yeah.
It's good to get a really entertaining or
variety
interesting game.
and follow a narrative of the event more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just you're just watching one person play games all day, which up until there were random pairings was pretty much what happened. You put the top table on, and after about round 2 or 3, it was the same person.
Yeah, and you see the same stuff. It's nice to showcase different lists, different people, fantastic painting, all of this stuff.
Yeah. And like I said yesterday was about when you've got the option that pretty much 1/3 of everyone that's playing is going to be going through to day 2. There's no reason to follow the competitive play, and so it was more based on introducing you to community figures such as Lee Williams, Luke Townsend, Shari Al-Faris.
Yep, and the
Richard Greenway.
Yeah, the Greenways as well. I was talking to them recently, and because I'm going to do the podcast plug here. The 186 does have a podcast, as you probably know. And we mentioned the Greenways that they went out to America.
Can't deny you have
Yeah.
So we've got some bullets going on here. We should probably be paying attention.
No.
But yeah, they went out.
It's not going to make much difference if he throws the dice off the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. There we. Oh, hello.
2 blanks. Adds a crit with
Palpatine tip.
And there we go. There. Thank you then. An eye.
Eyeball.
2 hits and a crit. 2 hits and a crit. 2 hits and a crit. I could kill myself if I don't help it, so I have to.
It's considering.
So he uses Palp to stop himself from being destroyed.
Yeah.
1 hit. Yeah.
Takes that one to the chin.
And the crit
So
is
weapons failure.
the weapons reduced by primary weapon value reduced by 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've used your pulse shuttle, right? Yeah, shuttle or power.
Or roll 1 attack die for you.
Which is important now with all the torpedoes and everything else around. But that's whoop. He's remembered to put it on camera now. That's good.
Rolling 3 dice at range.
There
1
we go.
is a critical effect. Gets a hit and a crit.
And it's a
Both go
blank.
in.
So half points on the shuttle.
Starts in arena. All damage cards dealt face up.
So once
Major hull
again,
breach. Damage cards will be dealt face up.
Yes, I don't really have
that's a big deal.
And we're seeing the scores starting to develop now. Benjamin in the lead by 28 points with 14 points for Darren for having taken Ben's Lambda down to half points.
Yeah, I can't see either shuttle making it through this match.
No, of course not.
with this many mobile ships running around.
At the same time, Darren's actually in the worst position because he's got that asteroid in front of him.
He does. He can't pull a stop maneuver.
No, his free bank is white, so he could maybe just slot in behind Darth Vader there.
Absolutely. And the issue is that normally with using your shuttle to block.
No, it's red. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It is. The 2 bank is white, but that will not help him much.
I don't think he'll clear the asteroid.
No, he won't. See, as I was saying, if you're using your shuttle to block, fair enough. But with both of Ben's ships in the positions that they are, there's no blocks to be had this turn. And Ben can effectively force Darren's Inquisitor there to go straight over the top of him, because if he crashes into him, there's no way that he's going to be able to pull the hard 1. So he can clear his stress for free, and maybe even get a shot on Darren's shuttle as a free take there. Especially considering that Omega's pointing the wrong direction.
So obviously, what do you think Darth Vader's going to be doing? Ben's Darth Vader.
I'd be tempted to say K-turn in this position.
Of course, because you're not going to get back in for the next round.
Yep.
But then the problem is you've got with the K-turn is that it means that you're basically going to end up not 2 rounds later in the same place.
True.
Depending on how the board position plays out. But
I suppose looking at ship positions, if you're looking a few turns in advance, if Vader K-turns now, he probably won't get shots on the shuttle, but the next turn he will. The Inquisitor will get shots on the shuttle this turn, so they can remove Palpatine from the board in probably 3 turns. However, in 3 turns, that Inquisitor and Omega Leader will have come back around, and it's a hard choice for Darren there, because I think this is the reason I would K-turn Vader, is because then Vader becomes the target.
Yeah.
He's closer, and the Inquisitor can stay a long way away from the 2 ships, and he's the damaged one. And as it's always dangerous to swap targets in X-Wing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks like actually a lot of the people who'd lost 2 games have dropped out of the last round to play.
Yeah, many people. I think a lot of people are looking. Oh, he's gone for it. Oh, that's well done. I did not think that would fit.
Yeah.
It was close. I suppose you have to try, don't you? So if
it was his best manoeuvre as well. I
Absolutely.
mean, he was stressed. He couldn't take anything else.
no, this is where Ben may have. Yeah, there he goes. He bonks his shuttle. This is where Ben would have had a better perspective than us up here, because he will be able to judge the distance better on the table. So he may not have risked the K-turn if he could see that that 2-bank would go past the asteroids. I've seen a few people on the stream talking about the Hawk list as well. I posted that one up yesterday at the end of the day, saying congratulations, it's gone 6-0. And you are right, it did not come up against any jump masters. And first game today, it got blatted off the board.
Yeah, it was quite a quick game. We did have it on round 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much that the Hawks can do there. They get shot by torpedoes and they die.
Yeah, but at the same time, it definitely had its synergy with Dengar, Forlom, and Zuckus as crew members as well. So
I think it's a fantastic list. However, it's one of those that it has one play mode, and that is crawl around the board slowly and hopefully kill everything with death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
And if someone is able to just bring more bullets, which a lot of things these days have.
We were already speaking about how it's an arms race now.
It is.
The more people that bring jump masters just means this propagates more jump masters into the meta anyway to combat them.
Yeah, regardless of whether it's jump masters or anything else, it propagates red dice, because you need to kill things quickly, either before they fire their torpedoes or etc. etc. And it's very difficult to get something these days that can survive that much punishment.
Yeah.
Which is what I tried to do, and I failed, of course, quite successfully. If you can successfully fail.
Do you mind doing a hard one for me, please?
Okay, a hard one from the Inquisitor for Darren, for Ben.
In answer to the stream there, I think K10 and the Inquisitor would have got shots, yes, but you still don't know where Vader is going.
And answering the chat as well, actually at the start of today's second day, they did instruct all players to choose which player's dice they would use at the beginning of each round. Although it would appear that obviously, being as it's quite a difficult rule to remember, because it's something that you don't normally do, it seems the last 2 games we've had on the stream have forgotten to do so.
Saying that as well, I think on the stream table, they use the dice for the stream. Is that correct? So they're just using their own dice. Fair enough.
If I tell the people that they'd smack me.
Fair enough.
If you come to the table and start saying use my dice, you go. you wouldn't be happy about it. I'm already telling you, change the colour, change your bases.
Yeah.
Use my damage cards.
Absolutely.
Start telling it's not going to work.
No, I can understand why people are saying use their own dice. I can also understand why people would not want to. Personally, I'm not massively superstitious, but it's always nice to be using your own dice. And at the end of the day as well, if someone has a terrible dice, I will always offer, dude, do you want to use my dice?
Of course, yeah. We've actually got in Spain one of our highest ranked players. Let's just give it 1 second. We're going into attack phase now.
There we go. Target lock up.
2 hits and a focus. And Palpatine to a crit.
That's going to sting.
And an eye result, focus result.
Well then,
Changes it to an evade with Palpatine.
I think he's forced to there. He can't risk the direct hit.
Weapons malfunction. Weapons failure is called in the damage deck. And stun pilot.
Back to dials.
There we go. That could have been much worse for the shuttle there.
So yeah.
And you do wish to get in the hangar bay, and you know you were not ticked on the original sign-up sheet, please form extremely orderly queues. We're going to try to push this through and get you playing in the hangar bay as quickly as possible. So please just start doing it and we'll try and get you activated, okay?
So Oliver's just gone off to quickly sign up for the hangar bay while we're finishing up this round.
Still stressed, aren't you? I am indeed.
I tried doing a full sheet to begin with, but it was just too much.
Yeah,
it's best to just get the ones you need.
Just dropped out the hangar bay so I can do more talking.
Oh, no.
No. Well, they're starting now, so I'd much rather finish off commentating on the game.
All right. Okay.
I can play casual games. So it's
Okay.
fine. The purpose of the Hangar Bay for me was to practice the 5 A-wings for next weekend in Copenhagen. So
All right, wicked.
I will be travelling out.
At the Naboo Open.
Absolutely, travelling out to Copenhagen for the weekends.
Quick question: how much does your flight cost you?
The flight was £160, and that was expensive because
For a return?
For a return flight. I did it last year for the Copenhagen Nationals, and that only cost me £66 for a return. That's if you book in advance and you're not a teacher, so you can book sensible holidays. Unfortunately, I couldn't take any Mondays or Fridays off, so I'm flying out Friday night and flying back Sunday night, and if I get to the final, there's going to be some questions asked about a late early morning flight, and maybe I should leave my suit in the car. Let's not go there.
Did you put a suitcase on as well with that flight?
Absolutely not. That's why it's cheap.
So here's something that I'm going to say to you all. I mean, obviously you've got close links to the Copenhagen community, but I think it would have been cheaper to fly out to the Tatooine Open next week in Madrid.
It would have been. However, I wanted to see a few people that I met last year. It would have been cheaper to go to Spain, but I went to Copenhagen last year for the Nationals because I started chatting to Vince, and this is why I love the international X-Wing community. Because I chatted to Vince at the UK Nationals, and he said, "Well, we've come over here, so come over to Copenhagen," and a few of the Bristol Vanguard and the 186th and a few other English guys went over.
A lot of you went over last year.
There was a load of Polish people there as well.
Yeah.
And I hope they didn't mind, because there was a lot of us in the top 16. But yeah, it was really good fun, and I wanted to see especially Mads Bartman and Christopher Bengtsson.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see them again.
Chris does some excellent videos.
He does some very nice videos.
Anyone's been listening to me, one of the reasons why I got into this to begin with was basically while I had no other option of playing, my time was spent watching every single video that got published under the name of X-Wing every single day. And of course, he came up a lot. The Outer Rim Smugglers came up a lot. Yeah. Also say hello to them, that they're around today.
Yeah, it's good to see Siggy in a couple of years, and Gary Ashbolt.
And especially one of the guys that really got me into this was Brandon Bishop from Georgia.
Yes.
He did the first proper live stream that I saw, which was in January last year. Streamed their store championship the whole day through, and that was nice. That was when I'm looking for X-Wing games on video or YouTube during the nights. To find out it was going to be a whole day of play without stopping.
It's fantastic.
Crazy.
And the same thing as well, because like for the Steel Open this year, I watched from, I think it was, I watched the entirety of the knockout rounds until something like 3:30 in the morning. I just couldn't stop. Yeah. I was doing so. I had to get up at 9 in the morning, but it's just like, no, I've got to watch this now.
It gets difficult though when you start getting to like 3 a.m. It really gets difficult to start going, and suddenly you find yourself woken up and 20 minutes have gone by. Yeah. The whole game's changed.
It's almost not much point sleeping when you get to that point. If you got to get up at say 7 in the morning and it's already 3, then maybe have a couple of coffees. Right then. So as expected, the shuttle is probably going to get chased by a lot of things now.
Yeah. And we've got most of Ben's list will not be firing this round.
I'm surprised that he didn't try and finish off the shuttle there. I was expecting...
well, I don't think Vader's going to be at range for anything.
No. He's dodged the shuttle. And I think the worry here is that a target lock onto the Inquisitor by Omega Leader?
Omega Leader...
Or is that still on the shuttle?
I can't be sure. It must be. I think it's the shuttle that's target locked onto the Inquisitor.
Okay. Well, that's good news for him.
No. So
we'll see.
Well, it must be the other Inquisitor.
Yeah, because.
No, obviously not. Boom.
Well, there we go. I think that's a dead Palpatine.
One direct hit, and the other one was what is it?
There we go.
Plink. Loose stabilizer it was, just for the record.
Yeah, get those out. So now, well, Darren's winning by a point.
Back to dials.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I was going to say briefly before you drop out of Hangar Bay, talking about dice and superstition and dice rage. It's one of the high-ranked players in Spain went top 4 in French nationals last year.
Yes.
From the Basque Country region, Miguel Angel Cela, I think is the right way to correct it. Cela, also known as Morpheo.
Yeah.
He's famous for his dice rage. Plays 2 IGs and is famous for his dice rage. So he's got to the point where he uses the dice app on a tablet now.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
when you've got a tablet with a dice app, you're going to think twice about throwing that against the wall.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I feel that, I don't know, maybe because I know that certainly from the competitive 40k scene, people get really, really angsty with you if you're on a dice 1x1. Well, let's see, is it crit? You can Palpatine away, but but yeah,
you wouldn't want to waste Palpatine.
You wouldn't want to waste Palpatine on that. I can't see Vader not turning in here. But yeah, with coming from 40k, people get angry if you roll 1 dice at a time because they think, you can get the face. And I think the same thing is true of certain ways that people roll dice. Is because I sometimes find that if I put them all face up, maybe it's just my brain making it feel better.
Yeah, everyone has weird ways of rolling dice. At the end of the day, if they're landing on the play mat, then that's pretty much all that you're required to do.
Absolutely, and I don't think there's maybe if you roll. Thousands of dice, you get to roll more evades.
There was one issue a couple of years ago. I think it was there was a couple of videos of Travis Foss from Australia.
Yeah.
Was when he rolled dice, he would put the dice into his hands.
Yeah.
And he would line them up in the groove between 2 fingers, and he would turn them over in a certain pattern.
Yeah.
And then he would put them like that. Put another hand on top. And he would basically just go like that and just turn the hands over and let them fall. And so a lot of people were saying that it looks like he's trying to kind of rig the results as it comes out. Whether it actually was making any difference to it, I don't know. Got no idea.
Maybe it was just
that was sort of the perception
up
of what was going on. Was that it seemed more suspect than anything else.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And that's where it gets a bit more difficult. Obviously, when you're taking so much care before you throw your dice, that's when it starts to look more like you're trying to do something.
Yeah, it does.
A bit more, not out of the rules, but into the grey area.
It does indeed. Good morning, Baltimore, as well. Guy on the stream, hello.
We've just been joined by Marcelo, who is the organizer of the regional in Valencia today. So I'm guessing they're into their break before they go into the top 16 cut after Swiss. So please let us know how things are going over there.
Absolutely.
If any of the Petrios team have gone through to the top. And we also got the regional in Zaragoza today with their top 16 being played.
Right, so I think we're thinking about actions now. I mean, it's proverbial rock and a hard place, but the Inquisitor can get out. It's what he wants to do now, though, because he's been target locked by Omega there, so he's not going to be doing much in terms of dice modifications, and he definitely does not want to get shot by either of those two.
Wow.
It'd be good to see you at Naboo, even if you are playing Scum. I'm sure you're a lovely person, even though you're playing Scum.
I'll get to it. There's about half a mil gap. Yeah. It's tight.
There was a tight barrel roll there, just couldn't quite get the fit in.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's... yeah, because I suppose there's other options. You could try and then boost forwards and barrel roll as well.
I don't think that boost will fit unless it's going to go to the
Well,
right.
I can't modify.
Maybe the straight boost would
Kind
fit.
of pointless. Because you're locking me.
No, I reckon you could fit a 2 straight template in there. It would be tight, and I would say why not? Why not try the straight? Because you don't lose anything
I
from
think
doing
the front right corner would clip on Omega Leader.
It's probably close.
Yeah, I mean the template would fit, but whether or not the whole base would. No, that's not going to fit. Why are you even?
Oh, actually, that's
no.
It's worth a shout. I mean, at the end of the day, if he can get his ship out of trouble, definitely not. If he can get his ship out of trouble, it's worth a try.
At this sort of stage, when we're playing a game that's got so much to decide, it's probably best that when doing something like that is that one of the other players puts their finger on the base just to make sure there's no movement.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We agree, is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I will come around and check.
Yeah.
If not, then I'm not going to do any actions.
Okay.
I can't be shot at by him. So.
No stress.
And from the looks of it, I mean, there's
I
basically
think-
no point in him taking any actions there.
Yeah, I think he's not taking any. I mean,
Well,
that's what they've just been saying.
He's not going to be able to use them, so might as well not stress himself out. I think the only
An
reason
evade token,
Yeah.
because I don't think the Inquisitor's got arc.
no, and if the Inquisitor hasn't got arc, then he can't use any of his tokens against a Mega Leader.
Of course, but I
So-
don't know. The risk of the Inquisitor having an arc.
Ben will
it
have-
doesn't cost you anything taking it.
It doesn't, but Ben will have checked that carefully. I personally, the only reason I see for taking an action there would be to target lock something else that you might want to get next turn. So if he's already got that lock,
Yeah.
then yeah, throwing caution to the wind, and more correctly, throwing Vader into the Emperor.
Those pearlescent dice are no
Absolutely.
good for reflections.
I
Right.
do believe that
3
is
hits. 2 hits and a crit.
2 hits, and then he added the crit
One
for the
evade.
Titan computer there.
2 evades.
He
with
Palpatine's the other one.
Crit.
So,
Takes the crit.
what damage card is that?
Stun.
If you're touching another ship or whatever,
If that's stun pilot, he's
pilot.
dead. Because he's got to go over the debris next time.
Stun pilot.
Well then, big
Ah.
plays.
After you execute a maneuver, if you are touching another ship or overlapping an obstacle attack, so he actually has to stop on the obstacle.
Okay.
Just about pulse already. Yeah.
2 crits.
2 crits, and I will use my target. No, so just 2 crits. Oh, yeah, I forgot if you used
And he already had one anyway, stun pilot. So he's got 2 of them now.
He does. So, if he already had one, and he landed on that debris
landed on that
field,
debris field. Yeah,
that was forgotten then. Oh,
maybe. Ow. Don't clap your hands.
No.
No, not so close to the mic. And that's, what is that? Major explosion. Roll 1 dice. It's gone.
And he's gone. Pop. Well, he only had 1 hull point anyway.
Yeah. I hadn't updated the shield count on the Inquisitor.
Yeah, not taking a focus.
Oh,
Not dying in pulse as well.
It's critical.
I am surprised that Palpatine is
So-
still alive here.
Ben is down to Darth Vader with 12 minutes to go in the round.
And yeah, those 2 aces are still fairly healthy.
And we're going to have
By
Omega
fairly, I
Leader
mean
try and
fairly.
target lock Darth Vader and just kind of do that late game thing that Omega Leader does.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Darren doesn't need to do anything here. He needs to not die.
Let's think about the fact that the Inquisitor moves before Darth Vader as well, so there's an excellent block opportunity there. Moving. Oh no, because the Lambda's going to be gone.
Yeah. I think Ben, in this position, Ben has to do something to kill the shuttle. I might actually say a K-10 would be a good move here for Ben.
For the Darth Vader?
Yeah, for Darth Vader. Go as long as you can. Do the 4K. Get shots on the shuttle and
And the Inquisitor.
well, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a slight possibility that moving through the debris field, the Lambda's not here anymore after this turn.
It's only a short bit underneath. That should be fine. Yeah,
He's
because
going to have to roll a dice anyway.
he will.
Team, two bank.
And but as it's only a debris field, yeah, there he goes. So make sure he doesn't land on the thing.
And there he's safe. Let's roll that 1 dice and hope that a crit doesn't come out.
Well, he's got Palpatine, so he can
Oh,
palp
yeah, well, yeah.
it, and he doesn't have to, which is important because if Vader is turned around, which I don't think he will have, but it is an option, then he will indeed get Palpatine on his defense dice. And if there is any way for Ben to win this, I cannot see it happening if Palpatine is still on the board. He needs to remove that shuttle.
Look at that.
I may have to munch my words here about both shuttles surviving. So they're saying that it's been,
No, I think
there's 3 crits on that shuttle and no double damage. So that's,
I think the shuttle's going to be gone more than anything because it's the only one that you can actually take off the board straight away.
come on Ben, flip your dial. He didn't. Oh, he did do it. He's going for it.
Yeah.
Man with no fear.
Well,
or
probably an
possibly a lot of
obstructed hit on the shuttle as well.
Yeah.
Not that it makes any difference.
Well, it does with Palpatine on the boards.
Yeah.
That means he needs to get natural 2 hits. And then add his crit for the targeting computer.
He goes.
Oh.
1 hit and a blank. Change with Palpatine.
Gets us to.
And a
That's
blank
enough.
and a focus result. In
That's
they go.
enough. He's gone. And he's. Oh, there we go. There's the direct.
Direct hit.
Why couldn't that come earlier?
Stop clapping your hands, man.
I apologies if he's picked up that habit from me there. That's useful to remember actually, because it's a bad habit that I do, as I do that a lot.
It wouldn't make any difference if it went so that he's right next to the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 hit, 2 hits and a blank.
2 hits and target locks into a blank. Ooh.
So here comes
Vader's healthy. And
1 evade, 2
Vader
eyes.
Does care.
Down
There he
goes
goes.
one
Takes a
shield.
shield. And this is where, as you were saying, that blocking is going to be pivotal.
Yeah.
1 banks. Yep.
It's a game of guess who at this point. Where's he going?
2 straight.
And next turn, he pretty much can't kill a Mega Leader because he can't add his crit. Vader turns into a 2 dice tie as of next turn when he gets target locked. So it's going to be the Inquisitor for the win, and we do not have much time remaining.
No. Sorry, what were you just saying? You were saying that he's not got enough points.
Yeah,
You have to take both of them off.
he's gonna have to take one of them off. At this point, Darren can just survive for victory, as he's a long way past the minor victory point. And what Ben is going to have to do is he's going to have to kill the Inquisitor here, because in the turn that's coming, Omega will target lock Vader, and he will not be able to kill him.
Yeah.
So he's somehow going to outfly that little gnat that is going around there.
Yep. Okay. 1 bank.
Go back to that camera.
There we go.
Target lock. Yep. 3 evade. And nothing else.
So
Main leader is doing a 2 strict.
Ben's best possible result now is a modified win at the end of this, which may actually mess up the idea that whoever wins this game is probably going to be going through the top 8.
If I remember correctly, I was talking to Ben beforehand, and he's on 1 draw. He is on 2 modified wins as well.
We can actually check that out quickly. Ranking screen.
I do believe that will be 3 modified wins for him and a draw.
Benjamin's on 32 points.
Oh, hi there, you can see my face now.
Benjamin's on 32 points, so a modified win put him up to 35. Nah, not sure if it'd be enough though.
No,
it would come down to margin.
If he wins this, he should be on the same MOV as anyone who went 7 and 2.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win, if he gets a modded, then he'll be actually below all of the 7 and 2s, even though he's won 8 games.
So 1 hit
2 natural evades, please. Yep.
gets the 2 evades. And they go back to dials.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll just have a quick look at that ranking screen while we're going into this next bit. That's the top screen, don't worry about that. So we're looking at Darren's in 10th place with 33 points, and Ben is in 12th place with 32 points. So a modified win put him up to 35, giving him the possibility of fighting amongst all of these other 35 players. 4 of these guys that are going to have lost their matches, along with someone that might have won between
30s.
Darren, Kenneth. For example, Kenneth wins his match, whoever that's against, and he'll be jumping up to 37 points.
Absolutely.
So, not fun.
Absolutely. Well, it feels a bit mean for Ben, really, because if he had won this game, he would not have lost the game all day.
Yeah.
But he would be on the same MOV as anyone who went 7 and 2. So, yeah.
So, who is it? Who is it that's on 36 points? Brian Brian's on 36
Ryan
points.
Davies.
Did he take two modified wins? He's gone undefeated.
I think he may have taken 2 modified wins. I'm not sure of his score in the last one. Let's flip back. But yeah, there we go. So 36 points should see him into the top 8 though. Is that correct? 36 points seeing Ryan into the top 8.
He's on 32. It's Darren on 36.
Oh, sorry. We were talking
Brian,
about Ryan for a second.
Sorry, Brian. I was talking
Oh,
about.
Brian.
Brian's on second place with 36.
I'm sorry.
And he's playing against. He was paired up against Chris with the U-boats.
Yes.
So it made no difference which one of them won. They could have taken the intentional draw with absolutely no consequences. Okay. Looks like there's no range there for the Inquisitor.
It is the top 32 that gets the 2 range rulers, not the top 16.
No, yeah. Then the next prize level's top 8 will take the movement template. Top 4 get a play mat.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else after that, apart from the fact that the winner gets a play mat. The winner gets the glass-style regional trophy, and the second place runner-up gets a wooden-style store championship trophy.
Absolutely. And I think, honestly, I'm not the one to talk to about why it's a top 8 cut, not a top 16. I think it was due to time constraints, but that's just hearsay.
Obviously you're playing 9 rounds of Swiss.
Yes.
So it's basically you really have cut down to the cream of the crop then. There's no need to go to top 16.
Yeah. It's essentially as well, with 9 rounds of Swiss, you should end up with 1 person on all wins and then 8 people on 8 and 1. So essentially, most of the people who only lose one game,
based on
pure mathematics,
pure
and
win-loss
no ratio. So that's what should happen.
K turn from Omega Leader. Inquisitor moves into range. Darth Vader's going to shoot first. Inquisitor has full health. No, he didn't. Look at all those dice. Auto thrusters. And Spencer's evade token.
He's okay.
Range 1 through a rock from the Inquisitor to Darth Vader. A focus. Target lock spent
into a hit.
And changes 3 hits.
Oh, hello. That's going to wake you up in the morning. And
see 1 evade.
There's an evade there.
Takes 1 hit. Down to shield's gone.
Absolutely.
Little red flashing light on Darth Vader's console.
Oh, the Dark Lord of the Sith cares not for shields, although I think he may do at this point, especially with Omega Leader rolling in
closing to range with a target lock. These last couple of planning phases have gone by pretty quick.
They have. I think both players are realising that they don't have much time left here. And I think Darren wants as many points as possible. 1 minute is the call. So
this is probably going to be the last round.
I think really,
especially if Ben doesn't get that dial down.
Yeah, well, for Ben here, he has to try and kill the Inquisitor, and there's almost no way. If Darren decides to just go, you know what, I'm happy with that win, there's no way he's going to do it. However, if Darren has decided to try and kill Vader, then I suppose he could kill him. He's got full health. So with his evade token, if he blanks out completely, he's gone soft. Soft 1.
Right now.
Any barrel rolls? Don't think they'll fit there.
Maybe barrel roll to the right, back, and then boost forward.
No, the boost will not fit.
No, but I'm saying barrel roll first.
Yeah, barrel roll first. No,
barrel roll first away from Darth Vader and towards the back.
And then boost backwards.
Yeah.
That could work. Yes, by the time this round is finished, then it will be time, so this will be the last round.
Oh.
And focus up as well.
Oh,
he's going to try the barrel roll. That's never going to fit. There we go, time has been called. Right, now we get to sit in suspense. Takes his focus. So, for the Inquisitor to die here, just if you haven't done the maths, then we're going to need 3 blanks from Darren. we're going to need 3 hits from Vader, plus his target lock, and then we're going to need a direct hit as well. Oh no, Ben's decided to take his points and go for it. Fair enough, he doesn't want to die. I suppose that's why Vader has survived this long.
I mean, he's still got the Inquisitor. It's because he's escaping from a Mega Leader. That's what's happening there.
Yes,
he's trying
absolutely.
to avoid that modification.
Absolutely.
Problem.
I think.
And escaping from Arc.
Not what I would have done, but then again,
I wouldn't
that's
have gone
probably
forward.
why
I would
I'm
have gone
not on this
backwards
table.
there, because I think he might still be in Arc, and he's going to try and boost.
Yeah, well, if he's gone straight for the runaway, then boosting there means it takes him out of range. Well, hopefully. He might still be pinged by the Inquisitor.
Looks to me like he's out of range.
Yeah, he's out of range. And well played. Well played both. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and come back. And well, I won't be here, but join the stream soon.
We'll speak to Tom in the next round.
Absolutely. My squad mate Tom Duncan, he is the one in orange that you may have seen.
You can
There he
just
is.
see
He's
him
in the
from
background.
Screen just behind Darren.
Glorious beard and orange hoodie. Anyways,
Rampage.
I will leave you guys with that, and thank you very much for
Thank
having
you
me
very
on.
much, Oliver. That was a pleasure.
Hey, not a problem. Have a good day, everyone.
What we're going to do is we're going to put a different screen up than this one for the interview. These were the rankings after round 8. Okay, so they're not updated yet. I'm waiting for that data, and I think Zach's going to be given to me as soon as possible. Sorry, man. How was that for you?
It's always a difficult matchup.
Yeah.
You know, they're called Imperial Final Language A-holes for a reason.
Yeah.
It's a tough list for aces to face anyway. Obviously, a Mega Leader, denying any sort of tokens and rerolls.
Yeah.
And all that. So I played it once earlier today, and managed to beat it. Again, just went to time. I think my strategy when facing that kind of list is always to kill the shuttle first, basically, if you can. So if you noticed on the earlier engagement when I split my forces, the idea was I wanted him to commit to one of my ships, tank it up for one round, zoom past, go for the shuttle. Because that's how I won the previous game as well. Basically, it's often decided on who can kill the shuttle first. Deny Palpatine, and then it's an ace off.
How much of a problem was Wampa for you?
He's terrible late game. A lot of people think, 14 points, can't leave him around. But if he's still around with Palpatine, he's just ridiculous, right? Obviously, I only have 2 Hull and Inquisitor and 3 on Vader. Of course. So I tend to, if he's available, I tend to focus fire him down. If not, I just zoom past and go for shuttle.
Excellent. Any other point of that game that for you was really the most decisive point?
Well, there were, I'd say, 2 key points. Well, the biggest one, I think we discussed it at the table at the end as well, was his great double block on my Inquisitor, right? In that range 1 engagement. I mean, on hindsight, obviously, it's a bit silly of me not to have taken at least 1 action. I should have just target lock and evade action. But by boosting it, he denied me the way it needs to escape. I was hoping, and the turn before, I kind of saw that coming, and that's why I barrel rolled away to give me a bit of space to play and try to get out of any sort of trap he set. But he blocked me by millimeters, basically.
So, modified win. No.
It's a loss.
A full win, yeah. No, I was trying to say for him, we were working out if you'd managed to kill one of his ships, you'd have had a modified win, and that probably didn't give you what you needed to be able to go through to the top 8. So it's a full win for him. He's going to go up 5 points from the 33 points he had, putting him in 38th place, behind the people that are winning the current top 8. So we'll be finding that out as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time, Ben. It's been a pleasure. And we look forward to seeing you in some other games, in some other event in the future.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Darren, we're just taking a look here at how the standings were after round 8 of the tournament. Pull that towards your face, speaking to that little piece of tape on there. Move up a little bit, there we go. Okay, how was that for you?
Really intense.
Yeah,
really close. And then, it was, tough. I don't normally fly Imperials.
Wicked. So, based on the fact you've just won that, you're probably going to be going to 38 points, putting you around about 5th place going into the top.
My aim was top half.
Yeah.
As in
out of 400.
400, yeah.
How long have you been playing?
I bought the core set probably September.
Wow.
I've only really my first tournament was probably January. I play terribly. I normally just play scum.
Yeah, you play horribly. You had some excellent choices on maneuvers as well.
Yeah,
it's clear that you've been playing for a while with these guys. Yeah.
This list probably about a month or so. I did a tournament last weekend. We were supposed to be a team tournament, but there was an odd number of players. So I played 2 games at the same time, one with this list and one with my scum list. And so I was
Right.
playing on 2 tables at once. It's pretty tough.
I don't know how that works.
Jumping between 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Were the 2 that were next to each other?
2 tables next to each other.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Against 2. Right.
2 different people. Yeah, it was tough. It was a sanctuary. Yeah, so I've
Sanctuary is an excellent venue, correct? That's the
yes,
one
it is.
inside the church.
Yeah, it's a place inside the church. It's my local store. It's kind of 5 minutes away from where I live. So
Cool.
yeah, really
Well,
good.
anyway, we'll leave it there because
Yeah.
obviously this is when everything gets important now.
Yeah.
Go on, collect your stuff, get yourself ready. As far as I understand, you're going to be in the top 8 from having won that
Happy
game.
with that? How many IDs were there?
None, if
None.
I remember rightly.
Oh, okay.
I was worried about that, but it looks like nobody took any, including the top game where it made absolutely no difference who won or lost. They played through as well.
Good, because IDs are terrible.
Yeah, well, yeah. What are you going to do? They're in the rules right now. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
I hope everyone, all your family and friends were following at home to see how well you did. This is one of the top, as far as if I'm understanding it right, I've done my maths right, one of the top 8 out of 400 people playing X-Wing in the most prestigious X-Wing event in the world.
Happy with that?
Thank you very much. Cheers, Darren. Okay, so just going to quickly go tidy up the damage deck, stuff like that. I've asked them to give me the rankings as soon as possible, but it looks like they're not going to bother.